Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Both the Celtics and Bruins in action tonight. Celtics coverage gets underway in half an hour on our sister station 105.7 WROR. Sean Grandy and Abby Chin will have the call of the Celtics matchup with the Detroit Pistons. And then tonight, the Bruins on the road taking on the New York Islanders. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The Patriots had their first practice of the week earlier today as they get ready to face the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Not spotted during the media portion of practice, Jared Wilson, Brennan Schooler, Harold Landry, Morgan Moses, Jelani Tavai, and Will Campbell. Vrabel had announced earlier in the day Campbell would be placed on IR. That move has since been made official. Cornerback Miles Battle signed off the practice squad to take Will Campbell's roster spot. And in local college football news, UConn is going to need a new head coach. Jim Moore is leaving to be the head coach at Colorado State. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. Reunite with friends and family at the Nines the night before Thanksgiving. Enjoy full-size appetizers for just $6.99 and special trivia at the bar from 2 to close. You gotta love the Nines. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 4:30.
Right, of course, because I should know who that is. I don't care what you think.
I'll tell you something that rubbed me right.
Felger Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sometimes you don't know that you should fear someone until after the fact. So if we go back to Patrick Mahomes, the first time he was in the playoffs, nobody feared him. The first time he was in the playoffs. Even the Patriots, and they play them in 2018 in the AFC Championship game. Hey, go there, Patrick Mahomes, he got all these numbers, but he hasn't played us. He hasn't been against Bill Belichick. And then you look back and you see what he did in that second half, and you look at what he has done since. You're like, well, I didn't know well enough to fear him. So I guess I reject the argument that, you fear somebody once they put something on paper. Well, yeah, that's easy.
Right.
Okay? Yeah, I know that. How about fearing them just based on what they've done in the regular season? Sometimes the regular season is a predictor of what's going to happen. So you said, Gasper, well, they've led at halftime in most of their games. Okay, flip side of that is they've led at halftime in most of their games. They're good enough to lead at halftime. They're good enough to be undefeated on the road. Everybody says beautiful things about Mike Vrabel. I mean, I keep hearing that Drake May is an MVP candidate. If you put all those things together, yes, I feel.
Dondero, Alex Barth in for Felger Mazz today. Mark, I think this kind of gets into your opening take on the Patriots and where they stand at this point.
Yeah, I thought Michael made a lot of great points. I just would have highlighted the fact and specify a little bit more that Drake May is playing at an elite level if you look at the odds for MVP, and he's dynamic. And that's just the difference to me when you talk about the frauds and the fool's gold. The teams that have the quarterback that's being dragged by the good defense in the running game, they are the ones at risk or more at risk for being frauds. I think it doesn't mean the Patriots are guaranteed to be in the championship game. It just means that May, especially the way he plays, and we can get into this later if you want to, but the way, even when he's not playing well, the way he's able to bounce back through chunk plays and he makes the big plays, he can erase a lot very quickly because he doesn't always have to play perfect football and get back. Like Brady used to do he used to make a lot of those big plays, but he also could eliminate mistakes and just start playing perfect football. So he could dink and dunk and hit Edelman and Welker and do all those things because he wouldn't make any more mistakes. Even if May continues to make a mistake here and there, he can erase it because he can go down the field. That's dynamic. And when you have a dynamic quarterback, that can take you a lot of places. And I just feel like that combined with the professional defense that they play, is it the best? Are they going to have a nickname? Are they going to scare you? Probably not their defense, but they're professional. And they adjust well in game, and they play overall pretty solidly. And they've got Mike Vrabel, who's proven. He's a proven head coach. He's a proven leader. I just feel like that's a recipe for respect at the least. But you have to be very concerned when you go in and go up against this team. I don't understand why they shouldn't be 10th in any power rankings. This is a really good team with a dynamic quarterback. That's the key.
Yeah, I think just to go back to Holly's point about, they've led at halftime, so having to deal with it. That's, to me, why that Bengals win is maybe important. They dealt with more adversity in that game, I think you could say, than any other game this year. Being on the road, losing key players, spotting the other team a 10-0 lead. And look, they did still lead at halftime, but a lot of teams tucked their tail down 10-0 on the road like that. And I've been asked a couple of times this year, well, how do we know this team is different than 2021? 2021 was also at first place at this time of the year. They came off the bye, and they were just never the same, and this is coming off the mini bye, but the 2021 team doesn't win that game. The 2021 team does not win that game. So that's a sign that they're different, because that was a hard-earned win. Now, you could argue it was a harder-earned win than it needed to be, and I would say that that's correct. But sometimes you trip and fall, and you got to collect yourself, and they did that.
So my concern with the Patriots moving forward is the Baltimore and Buffalo games. With the state of the offensive line right now, the state of the defensive line, and I don't think we've talked enough about the loss of Milton Williams and the impact it has had on this team.
Well, it was readily apparent on Sunday.
No doubt about it.
And Tonga, let me throw that in there too, and the loss of Kyrus.
Yeah. Sure, but I think so much of our discussion over the last couple of days has been focused on Will Campbell, rightfully so. Yeah. Not having Milton Williams for that Buffalo game is going to be such a blow to this team. They have, Buffalo wants to run the football, and the Patriots have been excellent against the run all year long, and they certainly were not in Cincinnati on Sunday because of the loss of Williams. The loss of Tonga certainly did not help there as well. That's where I think it's going to catch up to them. Their trench play over the course of the next month, I'm worried is going to cost them the first seed. Now, it might end up working out that you don't get the first seed because you might, if Kansas City sneaks in, or if they don't sneak in, you manage to avoid Kansas City as a result of falling to the second spot.
But here's the thing. So you think Kansas City can beat whoever in the first round, right?
Yeah. So
if you get the bye, you just get them a week later. You're one and done in the divisional instead of the wild card.
Right. So exactly.
The hope, what you'd have to hope in that case is the Colts get the bye, and somehow the Broncos the Colts get the bye, the Broncos somehow end up with the Chiefs. That's what you'd have to hope for.
It's what I ultimately want to avoid, is Kansas City coming in here in the first round, whether that's in the wild card round or in the divisional round.
Well, in the divisional round, you're just going to have to accept whoever it is. I mean, they get the bye, you accept whoever comes in here, and you just embrace the challenge. You would hate to be in that situation where you lose out on the bye and then get the Chiefs.
Right,
that's the worst case scenario.
I do see that potentially playing out, though, with the state of this offensive line and defensive line, with their two most important games coming up after the bye. I'm worried about that. We were talking about this yesterday on Zolak and Bertrand. They probably need to go 4-1 to get the bye. I don't know if they're capable of that with the state of these trenches right now.
I will say, have you seen the schedules for the Colts and the Broncos?
Yes. So I'm not considering the Colts at this point. We're looking at the Broncos schedule. The Broncos have a tougher schedule than the Patriots. They have a tougher schedule in the sense that the middle of their schedule is,
they don't have, they play the Raiders, but outside of that, they don't have harder. So just looking at harder game, the hardest teams left they have to play.
Can you just give me the Broncos schedule?
Yeah. At Commanders, at Raiders.
Win.
Versus Packers. That's a tough one.
That's
probably a win.
I'm going to give them the win
at home. Yep.
Versus Jaguars.
Win.
Now that's a Jaguars team that's probably playing for its playoff life at that point.
At Jacksonville?
No, it's at home.
Okay, that's a win there.
No, I don't. Jacksonville is
at Chiefs.
Loss.
On a Thursday night.
Loss.
Or Wednesday. I think that's Christmas.
Kansas City's going to need that game.
Yeah.
Loss.
That's
at
Christmas
Arrowhead.
night, whatever that is. And then last week at home against the Chargers.
Chargers are going to need that one too. So it's a tough schedule for Denver. But I think the Patriots probably need to go 4-1.
And the Broncos, things can change. The Broncos will probably end up with a tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's the way things are trending. All right, 617-779-0985. Anything you want. It's an agenda-free Friday. How about Ken in the car on the Sunny Gray trade? Hey, Ken.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving before I get to my take.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you
Ken.
too.
Yeah, no problem. So I just wanted to talk about Sonny Gray trade yesterday. Him 10, 15 years ago would have been wonderful for this team. I know I'm going way back and a little bit outdating myself, but I just feel like getting rid of Richard Fitz. He hasn't panned out here, obviously, but I was really curious what was going to happen, and I wanted you guys' thoughts of the prospect that they traded in Brandon Clark. I know he hasn't been with the organization too long, but do you think they could have just did like a Dick Fitz trade for Sonny Gray and they could have traded somebody else? I just wanted you guys' thoughts.
Well, okay, so I guess the discussion with that is if you give up less, you have to take back more money.
Right.
I'm fine with the Red Sox trading Brandon Clark. He is the 8th ranked prospect according to Sox prospects. They have a number of pitchers ahead of him That's exactly the type of guy you should be trading. Like, I don't want to end up in a place as a fan where I'm saying, well, we can't trade the 8th-ranked prospect in our system. No, That's generally the guy you do want to deal. We mentioned earlier, Breslow drafted him, has now traded him. I have heard from a number of people that they don't really believe in him. Chaim Bloom certainly did. I mean, he was effusive in his praise, talking to folks in St. Louis about Brandon Clark yesterday. My question to you is this. Who do you trust more when it comes to evaluating a pitching prospect? Craig Breslow or Chaim Bloom? Guys?
Breslow, but Breslow drafted him, so I feel like that kind of undoes that.
Well, no, even more so. Breslow drafted him. He's one of his guys. He says, not him. The best general managers pick the prospects to trade. You know, we talked about this so much in the Chaim Bloom era. It's like you can't just hoard every single one of your prospects. You know, people say Dave Dombrowski traded away a ton of prospects. How many prospects did Dave Dombrowski ultimately give up that you say, wow, I can't believe Dombrowski traded that guy? Over the course of his career.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, I think that you can't go to the extreme either way, and the good GMs know which ones to deal and which ones to keep. And the thing with Clark, to me, is just looking at the people who cover the prospects, all said he was a reliever. If he was a starter, I might feel a little different.
So
if he's projected to be a reliever.
Hard-throwing reliever. You can find a hard-throwing reliever anywhere in baseball at this point.
Especially a lefty. They have enough lefties.
Yeah. They have way too many lefties. Generally, teams don't, but they do. How about... we'll go off the board here. It's Agenda-Free Wednesday. How about Stanley and Taunton? Stanley.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, guys. How you guys doing today? It's been a while.
Appreciate it. What do you got for us?
Hey, so I last played for Taunton High 10 years ago, and I'm trying to figure out this new playoff system because I hear Zolak bitching about it. I hear Bertrand crying about it. I hear you guys talking about it. So I'm trying to understand what changed because I know my high school, they used to be in the Hockomock Lodge at Mansfield, KP, North Attleboro. Then I'm looking through TikTok, and I'm hearing, hey, North Attleboro, KP, and Mansfield are going to have their own division next year. Like, what's changed?
I couldn't tell you the first thing about the Hockomock League, and I live in the Hockomock League.
I couldn't tell you the first thing about the Hockomock League. I played in the Hockomock League.
No, I'll offer something. I do agree with Zoe. I've never talked to him about this, but I could not agree more. Okay? Catholic Memorial being a Division II team is the stupidest, dumbest thing I've ever encountered, and I don't know how they do it. They're a Catholic conference school. Mm-hmm. They got that former coach from Everett who has turned them into a powerhouse. They beat Xaverian like 8 years in a row until this year Xaverian finally beat them.
Where'd you go?
I went to Xaverian. Okay.
Please continue.
No, I'm just saying they should be in the Catholic Conference Division I. I don't know if it's a school size thing. That is insane to me. I know it probably, I don't know why Zoe is he a Rentham guy?
Yeah, KP.
Okay,
so
well, he was annoyed. I was on with him last week. He was annoyed about the scheduling of the playoff.
Yeah,
than,
so,
like,
this is legitimate.
The other thing is,
and
the other thing that's just awful and devastating to me, the Thanksgiving Day game, which we used to be so meaningful, is now an exhibition. I'm not saying the games don't mean anything. To the athletes, of course, it still means something. It's a rivalry. But it is an exhibition.
It doesn't mean anything in the standings.
The standings. Right. It does not mean anything in the standings. The playoff games have already taken place. You're either in or you're going to the Super Bowl or you're out. And it's just an exhibition. It's a meaningful exhibition. It's your rivalry. I'm not trying to diminish that. I'm just saying it used to be the difference for some teams going to the playoffs or not. And that game ended seasons. It ruined seasons. It was awesome. Now it's on paper an exhibition, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, no, the scheduling is awful. I think everybody would agree with that. It has de-emphasized the importance of Thanksgiving, and it's the MIAA. I mean, they found a way to mess this up, and unfortunately, it does not help high school football in Massachusetts, which is, I mean, let's be honest, it's high school football in Massachusetts.
I remember being in the Patriots locker room in 2015 and doing a story there and talking to the players, and none of them really knew that Massachusetts played football, like high school football. They were so impressed.
Yeah.
Because down in the South, they all just sit down, eat turkey, get fat, whatever. Here, we're playing football, baby. They were impressed, and now it's just not as significant as it was back then.
How about Jeremy in Belmont? Jeremy.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear your thoughts, McCarthy, on the Emmanuel Clase betting scandal and these prop bets with baseball. Do you think it has a potential to existentially threaten the integrity of the game?
Yes. Listen, one pitch in a regular season game is not going to threaten the integrity of the game, but gambling in general and player props in general, no doubt, are a great threat to all sports. Look at the NBA with the scandal there. So, yes, of course, there is no doubt. I mean, would anybody disagree that Now, here's the thing. It's a double-edged sword because I want to be able to gamble on sports. You should be able to gamble on sports. We all should be able to pull out our phones and make a bet on the outcome of a game. But with that comes the ability for people to throw games, for people involved with it to alter the outcomes. This is a free country. You should be able to do what you want, bet what you want, spend your money how you want, use your money how you want. But undeniably, that creates a massive, massive problem, especially when it comes to player props, because it's so easy for somebody to manipulate or alter, even in the smallest way. So like Emmanuel Clase going out there in June and throwing a first pitch ball probably has nothing to do with the outcome of a game. We get it. It's like throwing a point in tennis. But it's so easy for somebody to do.
So
and
easy.
How far can that go?
And it becomes a slippery slope.
Yeah, it's a real issue. Anybody have anything they want to add to that?
I mean, just even with the Terry Rozier thing, or I forget if this was his situation specifically, but just, I'm going to play a couple minutes and then my ankle's going to get a little inflamed or whatever. And you come out of the game and you bet those unders, and it's not really that. You can't really... I mean, I guess if they see so much money going on one specific prop, that's what raised the red flag.
I don't remember if it was Rozier. That's how they caught one of those guys.
Yeah.
It was either him or Class A or one of them. Like, it was a lot of money bet on a very random bet. I don't know. Like, I've heard some people throw out, just get rid of individual unders, not even just prop bets, player props, just player unders. Maybe that does it. But here's the thing. The only people betting those are like the hardcore bettors. That's who's making the sports books the money. So I'm sure they're not going to want to get rid of them.
Player props are a problem. And listen,
but even the unders, like the player, you can't guarantee you're going to score more than 25 points in an NBA game.
No, but it's easy to control that, right? I mean, I can prevent the ball from going in the basket. I can alter that myself.
Player overs, I'm saying. Like, overs are...
Right, overs are going to change the way the game is played, but you're right. I mean, you can try to score 25 points and not get there. You can certainly try to score under 25. I can figure out how to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
I did that my entire career.
It'd be easy to manipulate the unders, and you can just eliminate that.
We'll continue. It's Matt McCarthy, Alex Barth, Mark Dondero in for Felger Mazz.
on the Sports Hub.
What have you seen sort of out of Drake May, and what makes him such a tough quarterback to play against?
Oh, he's talented arm. I'm not really too sure yet about his how quick he is to process everything, but I do feel like he makes the right plays at the right time. He does seem a bit poised in the maybe a little bit too poised in the pocket, but just overall, he's been showing his talent for sure.
What do you mean about two poise? And I know folks have said that about Jackson Dart a little bit too. Of maybe there's a little bit of how do you sort of exploit that as a defender?
Really just getting to him, like hitting his blind spots, like his backside. Like I feel like at times he's so caught up in making the right play, or getting so caught up in his routes downfield, he just forgets about somewhat of who's rushing him, if that makes sense. Like, what I mean by poise, it could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. But what I mean by poise is that he takes his time and he makes the right reads and, he tries to make the right play. It can also bite you in the butt at a certain amount of times if, you got edge rushers coming and you're not really too cognitive of where they are.
I don't know if that was all that much praise from Brian Burns, Giants defensive end pass rusher. Matt McCarthy, Alex Barth, Mark Dondero in for the guys today. They kind of went after May. They're pretty good, huh?
He was on the precipice of taking a shot, and then I think he, the little voice in his head sort of activated, and he tried to walk it back, but then also tried to make his point, and I just thought he got a little caught up, and it was a little bit of a word salad. Overall, I took that as he thought. I don't think he thinks that highly of Drake May, based on what he said there.
Do you think he's right?
I mean, yeah, to an extent. I think he does try to get down the field a little too much, but he's been pretty damn effective at it, and he's good at it. And I think the other things that he said he maybe doesn't do as well, he can figure out, and he's worked around, and he's willing to learn, and all those things. So I look, is it him exposing some weakness? I don't see it like that, but I do think he's not inaccurate. I wouldn't say something like that because that could be taken as disrespectful, and I think May is a guy that you don't want to disrespect. I think he's earned that you don't want to disrespect that guy, and maybe that's what crept in a little bit. But I do think he was on the verge of saying something a little bit disrespectful and then thought better of it and tried to walk it back, even though I think he was caught.
What's your view on it, Barth?
He's not entirely wrong. May holds the ball a little bit, trying to look downfield. He's taking sacks this year in those situations when nothing's there instead of throwing interceptions, so that's progress. Was it a slight? I don't know. I think he maybe said something game plan-wise he maybe thought he should have said. Drake May's actually speaking right now. He did respond to it. He said and I'm reading from Taylor Kyles here, not too sure what Brian Burns meant, but that he's just trying to make the right plays and keep his eyes downfield.
It was a shot at him. So
yeah,
and it's a perfectly fine response from May, and I mean, there's no reason to make too much of it. Burns is probably right. May probably does take a few too many sacks. I don't know if the clock goes off just yet, and that's a nitpick. I mean, he's been tremendous all year long.
Overall, he's pretty good at maneuvering through the pocket and doing what he needs to do within the pocket to make the play.
617-779-0985. How about Jack on the highway? Hey, Jack.
How's it going, guys?
Hey.
I got a couple stats about the Patriots red zone. The touchdown percentage 20th in the NFL. Success rate within the 2-yard line 30th. I don't know about you guys, were watching the game Sunday when they feels like they had a million chances to punch it in and couldn't do it. How concerned should we be about this red zone offense going into the playoffs here?
Yeah, I mean, very concerned, especially with the state of the offensive line right now. I mean, the reason they're not good in short yardage situations, whether it's on the goal line or not, is because they've got questions on the offensive line, and that was only even more apparent after watching the game on Sunday, where they lost Campbell, they lost Wilson, and obviously Campbell was still playing. I think in the first red zone drive, Campbell still would have been out there, but McDaniels did not trust his ability to line it up, put a hat on a hat, and get the ball carrier into the end zone. I don't fault McDaniels for that. They had proven pretty consistently that they could not do it.
I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Travion Henderson in that situation. I didn't think he got the ball at all, or not enough, at least.
I don't think it was about the running backs, though.
Well, listen, there's no excuse. You have to find a way. I mean, that's got to be a personal challenge to the football team. There is no excuse that you should have that many attempts inside the one or whatever it is, and you can't get it in. That's a disgrace. They should have plays prepared to avoid situations like that, whether it's RPOs or creative runs or May on the run or get under. I like you under center when you're that close to the goal. I don't want you in the shotgun. I'm not saying you can't have success from the shotgun. The Patriots, they used to do it with the direct snap to the running back or a draw play occasionally. That's fine. Get under center, hand it off, get it in, or do a play action to a tight end or a rollout or something. I don't like to. They get too cute. They get in shotgun. Too many bells and whistles. I hate that down there. And one other thing. Maybe it does in the red zone because I love this in the red zone. Maybe not on the goal line, obviously. Can we get any Barthy? Why don't they have any semblance of a screen game? Do they have any screen game? Not on the goal line.
Okay.
Well,
but
they had that
in the red zone. I love screens in the red zone.
It wasn't like a traditional screen, but they had that flip, the underhand flip, the shovel to Hunter Henry, which did well. It's funny. All I heard when I was saying, yeah, Josh McDaniels a good hire back in the spring was screen merchant. He's going to call too many screens. So it's funny you say, and I've said the same thing too, by the way, that I'm surprised they've called as few screens as they have. This is where they miss having a real fullback or Kairos Tonga, certainly. I think they ran it under center a good amount. They just didn't get the push.
Get it in.
To your point on the play action, they tried the one at Henry, and Henry gets open, and Mac Hollins runs into the pick. I don't think he needed the pick to get open. If Hollins could, and now Hollins is looking back in the backfield. If he can dodge that pick, then maybe that one stands at a touchdown. I wonder why the direct snap to the running back play is a McDaniel staple on the goal line. I'm a little surprised we didn't see that.
Same.
And I'm a little surprised they didn't go back to the return route to Kayshon Boutte, which is the play they ran on the fourth down. He draws the hold. That's another McDaniel staple down there. Obviously, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola had a ton of success with that route for a number of years. And the Bengals, they held, so they couldn't get it. Maybe you don't go back to it on the very next play, but they had another 4 snaps after that, plus the 3 more on the later series, and they didn't do it. So I don't, part of it's the play calling, but I mainly put it on execution. They did not get the push up front that they needed to get. And if you don't get the push up front on the goal line, you're just not going to score, run, pass, whatever.
Yeah, the play calling is we're overreacting to it. I mean, we can nitpick individual play calls here and there. It speaks to a bigger problem though. Is that they are not a very good short yardage team.
Yeah, and they don't.
That's not about play calling. That's not about the offensive coordinator. They're not a good short yardage.
They don't have that.
They don't have the personnel.
They don't have the fullback, and they don't have that real hammer at home. Ramondre's kind of there. He's a power back. He's not what I describe as a goal line back. Terrell Jennings runs like a goal line back, but he's a little small. They don't have that guy that's like LeGarrette Blount, right? Yeah. 225, hand it off to him, let him put his head right down and go. And not every team has that guy. Sometimes there's other ways to get creative. The other thing they could try, we see teams sometimes run quarterback sneaks with other players in their quarterback, bigger guys. Do you put a guy like Mac Hollins or Hunter Henry under center and try that? Again, I don't want to keep going down the play calling. It's an execution thing, but the fact they've struggled to execute it so much makes me think, do they want to get creative? Do they need to get creative in that situation?
I just think it's a personnel thing. I don't think it's about the play calling.
But here's the thing. So if they don't have the personnel for it, you got to figure out other ways to do it.
That's
and
right.
then it does become
That's
a
on Josh
play
McDaniels. He
thing.
has to find every team gets into the red zone at the goal line. You've got to find a way to be productive down there. And it's good that they've created an identity, because in the beginning of the year, I didn't know what their identity offensively was. It turned into May making chunk plays down the field. I love that identity. The problem is when you're inside the 10-yard line, you can't really do that. So they need a goal line identity, which they do not have.
Right. Well, goal line identity in the NFL is run it right at you, because you run out of space. Right. Like there's very little you can draw up and scheme up in those spots. I mean, of course, there's little things you can do here and there, and then the Chiefs are really good at it, introducing the tight end screen, which the Patriots used this past weekend. Right. Yes, of course, there are ways you can draw something up and get somebody open, assuming you don't pick him like Mac Hollins did. But in the end, when it comes down to it, I just don't look at those 2 series and say McDaniels screwed up. I mean, yes, I would have liked to see them a little bit more under center on that first series. I get that. But in this league, you got to be able to push a guy back 1 yard.
100%.
And they couldn't do it.
Right.
So I just don't put that on the offensive coordinator, who I think has had a pretty good year.
Yes.
617-779-0985. I see your Patriots calls. We'll get into them. Red Sox have been hot all day with the Sonny Gray trade. We'll do that as well. But coming up next, a victory lap for the great Kevin Majori, who I think was proven right last night with something that happened in the NHL. This man has been shamed. He's been told to stick to his day job. He has decided to stick to his day job and produce today's program. He will stick to his day job next and offer you some commentary on something that happened last night in the NHL. We'll do that next.
Sports Hub headlines. Sports Hub.
Wrap in front and the Stars score. They play it in front and Jamie Benn gets the goal. It's number 400 of his career. The captain gets the milestone here early in Edmonton.
I know it's the radio play-by-play call, but I didn't hear, as part of that, the entire team came off the bench to congratulate Jamie Benn for getting his 400th goal. Did you guys hear that at all?
I did not.
Dondero?
Didn't catch that part of it.
Kevin Majori, did it happen?
I went back to watch the TV highlight of it after I realized last night what had happened, and in a shocking twist to me, nobody came on the ice. Everybody stayed on the bench. Goalie stayed in the net. No big pig pile in the corner.
Kevin Majori, your response after getting dragged and shamed by not only the Boston Bruins but Bruins fans for saying that David Pastrnak should not have gotten the whole team to come off the bench for his 400th goal.
Well, I mean, I just thought 400 was kind of weird, kind of dumb, and I think I got backed up by that happening last night. We still have, like I originally mentioned, Nathan MacKinnon's close, so we still have the MacKinnon goal to get through before we really solidify this thing. But, you know, I don't know. 400, not disrespecting it. Pastrnak didn't have the whole team come on the ice. They did it without him knowing. So this was somebody else that put it through. And I do have a positive spin on that if we want to get to that. But I wasn't shocked because it seemed like it doesn't happen in the league, but it just happened to happen in this city a couple weeks ago.
400 is a weird number. It's a great accomplishment. It's a great accomplishment.
It's a weird number. I'm not downplaying it. I just think when it comes to the goals, I think 500's the line. You start at 500 and you go from there.
Just remind me, and for those that didn't see it, Kevin, what exactly did you say? What was the tweet exactly?
I said I'll be the dweeb.
Okay.
Whole team coming on the ice for 400 goals is kind of dumb.
It's a good take.
So why do you think the Bruins were different, Kevin?
This team, and you guys know that I'm Team Tank, right?
Yeah.
This team has made it very challenging for me to do that because I really like this team. Because a lot of the Bruins fans that were yelling at me in my mentions, that were really upset with me.
Right, hot take artist Kevin Majori.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, I'm
a lot of the Bruins fans and one forward
on the team were saying, well, it's those teams aren't as close as this team. And as maybe kind of as that sounds, this team's really got it. This team's really close. This team is a group of guys that every night goes on the ice and wants to win for the guy sitting next to him on the bench, wants to win for the other guys with him on the ice at that time. This team is really, really together, really close. I think that starts with the coach, who I really like as well. And I think that's, if you want to tell me that's why they did it, I still think it's dumb, but I'm for it. If this team's going to be really close and start to build the chemistry for going forward, then absolutely I am 100% on that. Again, still think it's dumb, but they're a close-knit group, and I do love that. And it makes me tough. It makes it tough on me when I say I want to tank to watch these guys play because I want them to win games.
Maybe Jamie Benn's teammates just hate him. Maybe that's that.
You know,
they didn't want to come on the ice for the big celebration, the big 400.
Maybe Ben's and Dreisaitl's and Crosby's and Ovechkin's and Stamkos's and Matthews and Tavares' teammates all hated them. I don't know. 400 was kind of weird.
Did you go back and watch the footage of all of that?
Yes, I did. So that night, next morning, I went back. Ovechkin, Crosby, Stamkos, Patrick Kane, and somebody else. Tavares was 500. Nobody came on the ice. What was pointed out to me is that Toronto was losing 5-1 at that point, so it would have been kind of dumb.
That would have been really dumb.
Draisaitl. Big Jim helped me out. Brad Marchand a couple years ago, 400. Nobody went out on the ice. So it just doesn't happen. And I'm sorry. But again, it goes to the Bruins being a very close-knit bunch. And for that, I still think it was dumb for all of them to go out there, but I understand it.
So I have a confession to make, and when I say people aren't going to like this, not are they not going to like this, they're going to hate this. Okay, they're going to hate this confession, but it's true.
617-779-0985.
Okay, I'm not saying it was dumb. I'm not saying any of that, but I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it happened in real life or whatever. I'd have to check. But in the movie Miracle, when Mike Eruzione scores the goal to give them the lead and the entire team came onto the ice, I thought it was weird. And that was, and this is a bunch of amateurs who are trying to beat the greatest team ever in the Olympics in the semifinals. But in the moment, I'm just saying, like, all right, get off the ice. Like, it's still like you got a lot of game to go. And I think they had done that a couple other, and maybe it was just Hollywood. I'm just telling you how I felt. It felt a little weird. Like, act a little bit more like you scored a go-ahead goal before. This is different, but I agree. 400. I appreciate that they're close. I don't know if it's necessary to charge the ice at that time.
I don't want to buzzkill your take. You're talking about the goal at the end of the first period, right? As time runs out?
No, I'm talking about the goal Eruzione scored in the third, where there was still time.
Okay.
And that's when I think it was like the second or third time they came onto the ice. I get the one at you're getting off the bench anyway.
Oh, that's okay. That's what I was going to say. All right, never mind that.
But they're in the middle of the third period to chart. In the moment watching the film, I just found it a little awkward. Like, I didn't love it.
That seems like a Hollywood thing.
Maybe it was a Hollywood thing.
Like in football movies when they score the touchdown, everybody runs on. It's like, you got to kick the extra point.
Yeah, I got to go watch the.
I mean, we can confirm this right here.
Sure.
If you guys just keep talking, I'm going to watch the footage to see if it happens.
Can I throw in another take while you're looking for that?
Sure.
So Morgan Geekie, the one that chirped me, has been scoring at an unreal rate.
He's been unbelievable.
Incredible.
He is 11 goals away from 100. And let me tell you something. If he keeps scoring at this rate, they all better dump on the ice when he gets 100 because it's going to be like 3 games from now. So, but no, he has been, since chirping me, 6 goals in 6 games, I believe.
No, I'll take it.
We're going to look to extend that tonight.
Kevin Majori is at the foundation of the Morgan Geekie resurgence and this Bruins season.
Well,
if you didn't offer him the motivation,
what's their record since that tweet?
Well, it's not good. The record is not good. He's scoring goals.
Actually, so you're doing your part. You're doing your part there, Majori.
Wasn't that right before they went on that winning streak?
No, this was in the midst of the winning streak.
Oh, okay.
I believe that was.
I have my timeline off.
So off the top of my head, I believe they're like 2-4 since.
Okay,
maybe.
never mind.
Dondero, they did come on the ice after the Eruzione goal.
Okay, and look, I'm not gonna. I just, as somebody that played hockey, I just remember thinking to myself, like, all right, like let's be a little bit more mature about it here and get back to the bench and continue playing. I remember thinking that in the moment. That's
all right, so Mark Dondero hates the Mike Eruzione goal. 617-779-0985. Fair take?
I wish because I wish I was alive to see it.
I have a rule where we don't compare anything to 1980.
That's one of my rules.
That is like a sports. You want to talk about a Matt McCarthy commandment? We compare nothing, not a thing, to 1980.
What about 81?
In any circumstance, as in the year 1981.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the 1980 Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics.
Yes,
I thought you just meant 1980 in general.
No, the 1980 Winter Olympics.
Okay, yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
sure 1981 was a very similar year to 1980. I didn't live through it, but I'm sure the movies were just as cheesy.
Maybe I wouldn't have felt
and the
that
music
way
was just as cheesy
in the moment if I was watching the game live.
You wouldn't have been watching it live because it was on tape.
It wasn't even tape delay. But if I didn't know what had happened, but I'm just talking. While watching the film, I remember thinking that. That's all. It looked a little awkward.
617-779-0985. We'll continue. Tell you what, John in Vegas. We'll jump you on this before we hit the break. Hi, John.
Hey guys, just wanted to say I love the analogy with the movie Miracle. Totally apples to apples to what the Bruins are going through right now. Absolutely on point. I love how you did zero research too as to what actually happened. Just like you nailed it, man.
Yo,
awesome
I thought of it. I thought of it off the top of my head, so I said it. All right, is that okay? Doesn't always have to be a highly researched thing that you go into.
You're a little upset there.
No. No. Don't have that tone, okay? I thought of it. I said it.
Yeah. I stand with you there because it was an off the top of the head thing.
Yeah.
It would have been and we did. Matt looked it up, but it was off the top of the head. Yeah. I stand with him.
I'm just telling you that's how I felt watching the movie. I was like, I don't know. Like, get on the bench. Come on, let's get back to the game.
It's okay. You just hate the goal. Hate the result. Dondero rooting for the Soviets. 617-779-0985.
Bought my son a USA Hockey jersey. Hope he's not listening.
That Four Nations thing was awesome.
That was awesome.
Great. Oh, so good. But if you want to talk about never comparing anything to 1980, I was there that night and they played the Herb Brooks speech.
Yeah.
It's like you get all fired up. You're like, yeah, all right. And, and then the public address announcer, here, ladies and gentlemen, the United States of America. And they come out on the ice, and I'm ready to go through the roof.
Ruzioni was there.
I'm like, wait a minute. That's Jack Eichel. Okay, he's really, really good. That's Slavin. Oh, he's really, really good. Oh, wait a minute. This is not the 1980 U.S. team. These guys are among the best players in the world. So maybe let's not do the comparisons. I did enjoy it in the moment, and then I had the come down moment, be like, probably not a great thing to compare to. And apples to apples.
I love international high. I can't wait for the Olympics. It is the one thing that on the top of the list, I would say, of things I've never seen that I want to see. The U.S. win the gold medal at the Olympics. I want to see it.
Al Michaels calling the Miracle on Ice in 1980 one of the great play-by-play moments in the history of sports, if not the greatest. However,
what a statement.
I'll offer up a few more play-by-play highlights for you. Our friends from Abington Cable Access, their greatest high school football calls. It is the Felger Mazz tradition, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, to play high school football calls. We have, this is the best of the best. Forget just nuts and bolts, we got screwed, which is, I think, tier 1, number 1 Thanksgiving call of all time. We have a library of Abington high school football calls. We'll do that next.
Brace yourself. More Felger and Mazz.
Second and 10. I formation. Looks like Driscoll, the deep man in the eye. Austin throws it out. Oh, it's a backwards pass. That's a line ball. It's a line ball. Pick it up, Cody.
Yes!
There he goes. There he goes.
Touchdown! Man Muskegon!
Oh, wait a minute. He's saying it's an incomplete pass. There's no way that's incomplete.
Absolutely not.
That's a backwards pass by 5 yards.
Absolutely not.
There's no way that's an incomplete pass. That's a backwards pass. It's a live ball. That's a touchdown taken off the board against the Green Wave. And that man does not have that call or the view.
Football! Horrible!
Boo! 5-yard backwards pass, live ball, touchdown off the board for the Green Wave. Nuts and bolts, we got screwed. Third down. 3:46 on the clock.
It's the Mona Lisa. The greatest high school football call of all time, courtesy of Sean Riley and Kevin Whalen of Abington. I don't know if that's on Abington Community Access or maybe WATD. One of the local...
Abington CAM.
Abington
Community
CAM.
Access and Media.
Right. Kevin Whalen, Sean Riley.
What year are we talking? Do we know?
God, 15 years ago at this point. Kevin, do you have that?
2010.
I can't decide what... I mean, nuts and bolts, we got screwed is such an all-time line, but I think...
Nuts and bolts, we got screwed.
I think my favorite part of that call is the color analyst taking off his headset so he can stick his head out the window and yell at the official, who he probably knows, because we all know how high school sports work. I mean, it's all the same people. Believe it or not, and I know this may surprise some high school sports fans out there, parents and everything. It's actually not a long line of people standing up and saying, you know what, I'm going to go referee a football game on Friday night. People aren't really lining up to do that. And I wonder why, by the way, after listening to all of our high school calls, because they all have something to do with the officials generally and the meltdowns that happen over some guy who's out there making $50 and working for a hot dog.
Yeah.
And they have people like Zoe yelling at them in the stands, cursing them out, chasing them to cars, stuff like that. You got the broadcasters taking off their headsets and yelling out the window at them. Oh, it's all time, though. It's great.
But, okay, in defense of those people, the yellers, these are, and you know this, these
By the way,
games,
shocking that you're going to defend the parents and people who yell at the officials
No.
at some high school event.
I'm just as a former high school athlete, you do remember these games for the rest of your life. I mean, you say, and you're not wrong about the $50 and the hot dog, and it's just some guy out there reffing a high school game. But these kids, if you blow a call that cost you, I mean, you're going to remember that game, that moment, that failure, whatever it is, for the rest of your life. You'll think about that, and it's a big deal to those kids. I just have to say, it's amazing the level of passion that these. I mean, what's at stake for them? Is it just pride? Are they alumni? Do they have a kid on the team? I mean, I'm giving them credit because it is an unbelievable level of passion that they have for the game, the outcome, all of that. They want their team to win, but just because you're an alum, you get that fired up. It's impressive.
Oh no, it's all time for sure. But no, it's town passion. It's everybody involved, the kids involved, and that's why people
the kids. I guess sure.
Right at high school.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand a player being upset with the call, and listen, fans are you're going to react, you're going to boo. I mean, but the people who get out of line with it, it's like, guy, calm down. But these guys know the officials. More from Kevin Whalen and Sean Riley. Kevin, if we could, the second one that you played for me back there, where it's pretty obvious that they know everybody involved.
3rd and 10, a long 10, but a 10 that they have been able to get when they needed it in the past. So see what they do is they break the huddle. Peterson lines up on the near side with Pierce. They got the slot left also. Graham barking his cadence. Harrington's to his right, looking to throw, looking for Peterson across. He puts it up. Picked off! And a flag thrown.
For what?
Not sure.
For what?
Was it before or after the play? Malafronte with the interception.
For what?
Pass interference.
Oh, that's a horrible call. Oh,
no way.
Oh, jeez.
No way. Wow.
What the heck is he watching?
10-yard penalty.
What are you watching?
Penalty.
The question to him.
Oh, Jesus.
3rd and 10.
Even the EB fan is going, what the heck is going on there?
I thought that was a clean play and a good pick, good interception.
I don't know where what's contact he saw.
But, the guy who threw the flag is originally from Abington, so it ain't rigged. Let's go 1st and 10 now.
They know everybody. The thing, small town. Small-time stuff, which is what makes the passion so, as you said, Mark, so great. Because it's like, how can you really get this worked up over something so small, so minuscule, so, in the end, meaningless?
I'm just trying to put myself in that, and I'm a passionate, intense guy.
Not really.
I can't understand, even if you're thinking about your alma mater. I guess if it was my child or the group of kids he's grown up with, and you really got blatantly screwed on a call, and that was going to derail their hopes and dreams of a champion or something like that, maybe I could see myself getting to close to that level. Other than that,
it's a great life lesson. Sometimes things don't work out for you. You'll
It
be
is,
all right.
sure.
And you know what? Your high school football game is not going to determine the rest of your life. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
That's a good. Sometimes having a bad call go against
I still think about Little League games that I lost in championship Little League games that still sting.
Listen,
so it
Mark,
happens.
I had the game-winning hit in the Carver Little League championship game in 2001.
Wow.
So unlike you,
yeah,
I actually won in those moments.
No,
and I
see,
delivered
I lost.
and I came through.
I had the bases loaded and popped out. Nick Falco caught it on a sliding catch in center field, and we lost 5-4.
This, you know what? This explains a lot.
Yeah.
It explains the anger, the true passion about everything. It explains that thing about you. It goes back to 11 years old.
It's always bothered me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Shout out Nick.
Yeah, Jason Bourne. He still thinks about it to this day. Had me up 0-2. Tried to get me outside corner. I knew he was going there. Got the bat out in front. Yeah. Ripped it. Left center field gap. Legend.
Surprises me.
They still talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 90 seconds, no commercials. We'll get back. We'll talk some Red Sox here. We got more on the Sonny Gray trade, more on Will Campbell. Anything you want for the next hour and a half. We're going until 6:30 tonight. Alex Barth, a quick update. Right back with you.
Football! Horrible!
From the Telfair Tire Studios, WBZ FM and HD1. It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Mazz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics and Bruins both in action tonight. Celtics getting ready to tip it off with the Pistons momentarily here. Coverage of that game can be heard on our sister station, 105.7 WROR. Sean Grandy and Abby Chin on the call for that one. The Bruins, they don't start for a little bit. They're on the road taking on the New York Islanders. Coverage starts at 6:30 right after us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The Patriots began their week of practice ahead of their matchup with the New York Giants on Monday night. Not spotted at today's practice. Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, Brendan Schooler, Harold Landry, Morgan Moses, and Jelani Tavai. Mike Vrabel announced before practice Will Campbell would be placed on IR. That is indeed the case. He's going to miss at least 4 games. Miles Battle signed off the practice squad, take his roster spot. Vrabel saying Vidarian Lowe is expected to start at left tackle in Campbell's place. And in local college football news, UConn's Jim Moore is out. He's leaving to be the head coach at Colorado State. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning with over 50 trucks on the road because your clogged drain is their emergency. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 5:30.
Here's Pasternak, high slot. Right circle to Zaka. Sends one across. McAvoy shot, and he scores!
The Bruins play here.
We have a show to do today. The whole new acronym thing drives me effing bananas. Can we call him by his name?
Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Do you view him as kind of the number 2 behind Crochet at this point, and would you consider adding to the rotation going forward?
I don't know how much sense it makes in November to put a number on a guy. I think Sonny is a very talented major league pitcher. The seasons that he's put up pretty consistently indicate that to be the case. That said, we still intend to improve our team, and exactly what that looks like we don't know right now, but we'll continue to explore opportunities and figure out where that.
Craig Breslow comments, very non-committal comments about whether Sonny Gray is the number 2 starter or not, and people have pointed and said, well, see, they're still the Red Sox. They're still not serious about this. Sonny Gray is their number 2 starter. He didn't commit to the idea of going out and adding another pitcher and adding another starter. So you see, it's the same old Red Sox over and over and over again. They're not serious about this. To which I say, pump the brakes. He also didn't come out and say, we're not doing it. He didn't come out and say, we're doing it. He was very vague. And the reason he was vague is twofold. One, it's just who he is. He can never really give you any clear answer with language that you and I generally speak. But number 2, chances are the Red Sox are going to acquire a number 2 starter via a trade. Coming out and saying, we're still in the market for a number 2 starter does not help you in any negotiations with the rest of baseball. So don't overreact and don't freak out to those Craig Breslow comments. It's different if you're in the free agent market for a starting pitcher because you're dealing one-on-one with an agent, with a player. You're probably talking to 4 or 5 or 6 teams about trying to get a deal done. You want to get the best deal. That is ultimately your job. Don't look into those comments as anything more than off-season fluff. I think they're still in the market for a number 2 starter. I don't think Sonny Gray is their number 2 guy, and that's where we go from here. That's my general take on those comments.
And if that's the case, I'm cool. I think it's a good move. Sonny Gray could be a good addition based on what he can do. The age is a little north of what I'd want it to be, but he's been okay in terms of what he does and in relation to Fenway Park and what that ballpark really calls for in terms of what he does against righties and keeping the ball on the ground and strikeout to walk and all those different things. But it's just not enough, and it's not going to be enough, and we're all just a little bit jaded over the years of not being fulfilled enough with the moves that they've made. Last year was better, but, even in the midst of all that, Crochet, Bregman, they traded who in the middle of the year? And they never really got anything back, and that might have been the difference in the playoffs, and you could have that argument and debate, and that they didn't. And then at the trade deadline, Craig Breslow started talking about, well, it takes 2 to tango, and they didn't have anybody to trade that anybody wanted, but you had Devers earlier in the year, and you traded them, and they got nothing back. So, people are still going to be apprehensive, and I'm just here to point out that this is fine for now, but it's not enough. For now, it's fine.
Yeah, I think we all know that. If Sonny Gray is it, yes, that's a failure. That's a disappointment of an offseason. The offseason basically hasn't even begun yet. The winter meetings aren't here, so it's a good move. The Red Sox are a better baseball team today than they were at 10 a.m. yesterday. And I kind of feel like that's been lost in the discussion over the course of the last 24 hours because everybody just jumps to that place. And I understand why they do, Mark, because the Red Sox from 2019 to 2024 did not operate the way they should operate. Yes, they traded Devers in the middle of last season and did not get anything in return for him. That is extremely frustrating as well. But you go back to last offseason, they did something they had not done in years, which is trade for Garrett Crochet and then give him a record-breaking contract. They gave Bregman a big contract, granted in a shorter-term form. But I think our commentary on the Red Sox is just a little behind the 8 ball. It's just something out of 2022 or 2023, and I don't think we've caught up to that. You disagree with that?
I think they had, when's the last time they had 2 big off seasons in a row? 2 big market baseball team off seasons in a row. I think they need to earn a little more benefit of the doubt.
Okay, I get that. That's fair. I think they're trending towards that. I do.
Okay.
Now, they will ultimately. Here's the thing about the Red Sox, because they can always spend the money, they can always afford to do it. You will always be able to say, well, they could have done more, they should have done more, and that's just the nature of baseball because there is no salary cap. If the Red Sox go out and have a massive offseason, again, you can still come out in July and say, well, okay, they added 2 big bats, but they should have added 3. That never stops.
But I don't need them to be the Dodgers and be the biggest spender, but get the lineup filled out, get the rotation filled out. They still don't have a first baseman. They still don't have a third baseman. They still, you could argue, need number 2 starter. Just get that filled out with respectable major league talent instead of, we get to opening day and, all right, well, there's going to be these 4 guys rotating in at second base, or, all right, well, we're going to have, a 4-man rotation and then bullpen days, and there's no depth behind that sort of thing.
You probably can't quantify it specifically, but you'll know it when you see it. You'll know it when they have gotten the guy that's going to get this fan base to the level of excited, or just the roster to the level of talent that it needs to be at, and just you'll just know it. It hasn't happened.
They need 2 bats this offseason, and they still need a number 2 pitcher. And that's a big ask.
Gray and Bregman aren't going to be it. That's not enough.
No, because that's the team you had last year. Because, again, the sign here, folks, that Sonny Gray is not your number 2 starter is he's replacing Giolito. He's basically just replacing Giolito's money. If you think the Red Sox are all about money, follow the money. He replaces Giolito on the books. He's Giolito's replacement. Breslow has said, he has made it clear, if there's one thing he wants to do, he wants to add a number 2 starter, somebody who can start a playoff game. He said they're good 3 through 10. They need a number 2 starter, which to me tells you how they feel about Brian Bayo, and they shouldn't feel good about Brian Bayo. So let's go to tweets from Jimmy Stewart.
Yep.
At I am James Stewart on Twitter. Jimmy just so happens to say, and anytime Jimmy says something like this, I start paying attention. Bayo, Early, and Arias might get you Joe Ryan from the Twins. This follows up a tweet yesterday from Jimmy who said that he wonders, and I'm paraphrasing here, I'll find this. I'll read it for you verbatim. I wouldn't be shocked if the Red Sox included Brian Bayo in a future trade for an impact number 2 starter.
So there's your trade.
Bayo goes to the Twins for Joe Ryan. We in on that? Are you okay with swapping out Brian Bayo for Joe Ryan and swapping out Sonny Gray, Lucas Giolito for Sonny Gray?
So that's where the Sonny Gray, because Giolito is a free agent, right?
Yes.
So that's where the Sonny Gray trade, now it looks like a great trade, because, okay, you upgraded your number 2, and then you slotted back in the number 3 without having to, those contracts can be expensive. What they got Sonny Gray on, it would have cost them a lot more to get a comparable pitcher on the open market.
Right. $21 million on the open market gets you Walker Buehler from last year.
Right.
And that's what that gets you.
And that's 21 before the money that the Cardinals sent back, right?
No, that's 21 including the money that the Cardinals sent back. And that includes the buyout, that's the luxury tax. Yeah.
But still, okay, so now you've upgraded that spot. You didn't spend as much money on that. You've upgraded the number 2. Now suddenly the pieces start to fall into place. And here's where I will agree with you, and I think this happens across all sports. People expect the offseason to be linear, and it's often not. They look at the rankings of the needs, and they assume that's the order in which they will be filled.
Yep.
And that's so often not the case. To go back to the Patriots, I think Robert Spillane was their first free agency signing. Good signing. They needed a linebacker. But, people were freaking out. It's like, okay, well, Robert Spillane wasn't their biggest move. He just happened to be first because that's how the cards fell. So then it's like, okay, if you make that trade, now everything's falling into place.
Yeah, we used to give Dave Dombrowski a lot of credit for getting his shopping done early, because then you're not, so much at the mercy of the market. And this is something that I criticized Chaim Bloom for. It's like, well, don't tell me the prices are high now. Of course the prices are high now. They were cheaper 3 weeks ago, but you were too indecisive and you didn't get your shopping done.
And it's not just getting it done early. It's your biggest need doesn't have to be your first move, regardless of when you make it.
Right. This trade presented itself. The Cardinals want to dump salary. Again, isn't it nice to be the team on the other side? The Cardinals made this move because they don't want to win, because Chaim Bloom does not want to win. The Red Sox made this move because they want to win. Their team is better than it was 48 hours ago. We've lost that. We've lost that in the conversation in the last few days, I think.
We're still splashing around in the shallow end. I want to get into the, I would do that trade in a second. What's the term in the NFL draft? Sprint to the podium or whatever? I would
sprint the card up.
Yeah, in a second, I would do that deal. I've seen enough out of Brian Bayo. It's enough. I definitely do that. I think just the action itself would speak to me. It would speak to the fan base, and I would love to see how that would play out, especially when you have Garrett Crochet leading it from the number 1 spot there. I'd love to see something like that. I hope Jimmy's right.
If you're looking for something big, what is your dream Red Sox offseason? What's your target Red Sox offseason?
Well, if I'm going to speak in generalities, it would be the number 2 starter. Yep. It would be Bregman back, and it would be Kyle Schwarber. That would be my dream.
Yeah,
I know it's not the righty bat or the big righty bat. I love Schwarber. I want him.
Number 2 starter, Bregman, a big bat, Schwarber, Alonso, whoever.
Yeah, I think Alonso's a better fit because he can play first base. He's not a great first baseman, but he can play there. Schwarber is a full-time DH. Eventually, you want Alonso to be your DH, but not to mention, too, Alonso plays every single day, which is something we do not talk enough about with this team. They have a whole bunch of guys who don't post. You know, we all like Wilyer Abreu, right? It'd be nice if Wilyer Abreu could play a full season of baseball. And you could say that Marcelo Meyer is a great prospect, right? It'd be nice if Marcelo Meyer was seen anywhere after August 1st because he never has been. So a whole bunch of guys who can actually, I don't know, be on the field, that is something sneaky. You need to value that way more than you think. And the Alonso thing, he's a perfect fit in that regard. 617-779-0985. How about Kagad in New Bedford? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
What's up?
Well, listen, am I the only one who's pissed off about the Sonny Gray trade?
No, a lot of people are.
Oh, my God. They jumped the gun on this one. He is not a number 2. They should have waited because they have 2 people coming out of the league in Korea they could have gotten for cheap. 2 people for a gambling scandal with really good ERAs who are better than Sonny Gray.
Who are they?
Peishnu Ku.
You know what? I don't even... Yeah.
You know, Mike
Felger walked my way into that one.
Yeah. Well, I did give a F1 take earlier, so I guess I could do Korean League takes. But
Did he say that they were just investigated for gambling too?
I don't think he was being serious.
Okay.
Normally my spidey sense is a little better than that, Barth. But I don't know. You sit in this chair and you have a level of Felger obliviousness that just washes over you.
I see.
How about Mike in Leominster? Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving.
Hey. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, those high school calls, they're phenomenal. I mean, just make me crack up. But hey, real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to some former Leominster Blue Devils. It's not Sonny Gray, but Noah Gray, the tight end for the Chiefs. He's a former Blue Devil, and then Mark Dagnall, the head coach for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So congrats to those guys. Going on to some bigger things, but. Cool. I just have 2 quick points, and I want to get you guys your take on the Denver Broncos. I think it was Mark that said it earlier about Drake May being a dynamic quarterback, which he is. Now, do you guys think that Bo Nix? I mean, from what he's done, obviously he's inconsistent, right? He's no Drake May. He hasn't done anything. I'll
let you go on that, Mike. Do you believe in the Broncos and do you believe in Bo Nix?
So I'm actually higher on Bo Nix than I feel like a lot of people are. He does make mistakes. He is inconsistent. But I do think he's a gamer. Is he better than Drake May? No, he's older, all those things. I just think he's kind of a gunslinger. He's a gamer. I think he plays unafraid. And it'll cost him sometimes. But I think it's a decent fit with Sean Payton. That defense in Denver, that's a team I don't really like the thought of facing.
So, Barth?
Bo Nix, to me, is a more physically limited quarterback, but he has the attitude. Like, he has it between the ears, I think, which is big. And a guy that started 60-something games in college, you see that, and started some big games for Oregon. I do respect the Broncos, but it's because of the defense. I think if Denver were to come here and the defense didn't travel and it's a shootout, yeah, I'll take Drake May over Bo Nix every day. Bo Nix is what I think a lot of people wanted Mac Jones to be, which is he might not win you the game, but he's definitely not going to lose you the game. He'll show up. He makes the plays he needs to make. Maybe he sprinkles in 1 or 2. He had a nice throw there at the end against Kansas City. I think for the most part, he's the quarterback that won't lose you the game, but generally won't win you the game either.
All right, 617-779-0985. Normally on Thursdays, we would have Mazz's Tiers. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We will have the Cowboys-Chiefs game on the air, 98.5 The Sports Hub tomorrow. So we should do some tiers today. Holiday tiers.
Love it.
Federal holidays. How do we rank them? What tiers are they in? Where does Thanksgiving rank? We will do that next. Dondero wants to sing.
We don't have to sing.
No, I think you want to sing.
I think you want to sing.
I very much don't.
No, Dondero, this is a you experience.
No, there's no words. We're not singing.
Well, when we get to the Mazz's Tears
No, but
part,
there's no words in it.
well, you can add the words. It's the instrumental version.
All right. Who's for real? Dondero?
Mazz's Tears.
There it is.
McCarthy's Tears. McCarthy's Tears. McCarthy's Tears. 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 Tears.
No feel whatsoever.
Tears.
Jump the gun there early, and we go 4 times through generally in
that's
music.
all right, whatever.
That's what makes it so good. You are the best at singing Mazz's Tears of anybody at the station. It's tremendous.
Well, I mean, if Felger belted it out like me, he would sound probably just as weird. But he's just a little whimpering bird.
Well, fair. Understandable. Yeah, good, strong take. I agree with that. Mazz's Tears, as we generally do. I feel weird not having the music under me. Oh, wait, you generally do that when I give off the tears. That's how
Yes, it will restart.
Okay. So here's the deal. We could do Thanksgiving food. We could do side dishes. Everybody does that, though.
Yeah.
Not to mention, too, the trouble you end up with Thanksgiving side dishes, if we're going to tear them off, is everybody has a different side dish that you do on Thanksgiving, right? So many people say, well, this is our side dish. So we're talking, how many side dishes would we have to list off? Because there are a million different types of ways you can do the potatoes. There are a million different types of casseroles you can do. You can do creamed onions. You can do mac and cheese. We've had debates about lasagna. There are a million different types of side dishes. It's too many.
Has
It's too many
Mazz
for a
ever
tiers.
done a tiers of just types of potatoes? Because you could do that within that.
That'd be good. I could do potato tiers.
I feel like that's niche.
Let's
too niche.
We can't let Maserati do potato
Okay,
tiers.
let's
We gotta let McCarthy do
another time me and you were on, we're putting that one in the back pocket.
All right.
I'm kind of in on that.
Potato tiers. There's a good one for the summer. No. Federal holiday tiers. I will just say off the top, you have to try to take meaning out of it, which is hard, because every one of us is going to have a holiday that means a little extra something to us for a particular reason, because all of our holidays have some level of meaning. I'm talking about experience. I'm ranking the holiday experiences for us as a society, a group of people, you name it. Take the meaning out of it as best you can. The holiday experience. We're going tiers 5 through 1. Tier 5. You guys good with that?
So it's like the general holiday experience. Not my family always does this on this holiday. Just like,
I don't know what that means.
I'm sorry?
The experience. Just be a little bit more detailed in what you mean.
Is it a long weekend? Is it not a long weekend?
Okay.
That type
so
of
like Thanksgiving, food, family, friends, football.
Right.
4th of July, beach, barbecue, fireworks, just a very generic.
Okay.
Not anything you do specifically.
Gotcha.
Put it this way. New Year's Day might be really different for everybody because you do different things on New Year's Day. Veterans Day may have an extra special meaning to you. You may be a veteran. Somebody very close to you may be a veteran. You name it.
It's like when you had, do you remember like in school, they'd have the big calendar on the wall and it had the art around it for like what each month represented, right? And so like October would have like pumpkins and ghosts and whatever, like the things that would be up there.
Okay.
Is that a good explainer?
That's a good way to...
The holiday experience. We're going 5 through 1. Tier 5.
Before we get going, Dondero said something about wanting to hear Felger sing.
Oh,
can I give you just like a clip of him singing last week?
Yeah.
Auto, you've got Audis, Hondas, and Toyotas.
Yeah.
Not great.
Okay. And he's not even... that's not belting it out, though. That's just
he's not belting it out, but he's also saying 2 very common car brand names wrong.
That's true.
So
Audis and... Can I get the Toyotas again? Here's a...
and Toyotas.
Oh, that's right. I heard this live. Now, I didn't realize
He
what
can't
was
go
going on.
there because he's a Packer fan. Jordan Love during Toyotathon?
He's excellent.
He's excellent. I thought he was terrible
he's
during
Mr. Toyotathon. No, Toyotathon's going to start soon. The Packers are going to take off. Apparently, I've learned this too. People are very picky about how you pronounce Toyota. Toyota. When you say Toyota, some people get very annoyed by that.
Who? People in what country?
People commenting on things on YouTube.
Okay.
Toyota.
Tier 5. President's Day. When you really think about it, what a worthless holiday experience President's Day is for us. Nothing going on. It's just a bunch of sales. That's it. Not to mention, too, it's like the worst sports weekend of the year. And I think, do we really need a long weekend in February? I would so much rather put that long weekend in March. How about in early April, where you could really use a long weekend?
Can I just ask a real quick question? Yeah. Will that opinion change if they move the Super Bowl back 1 week?
It very well might.
I was going to ask that.
I want to experience the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend. I think we need it. President's Day needs a boost because right now it is a Tier 5 holiday.
Okay.
Bad holiday weekend. Bad holiday experience. Out on President's Day.
I think we got to let him list the tiers and then we rebut.
Tier 4. No, you can issue your rebuttal after each tier.
So President's Day is
Day is it. It is alone.
Okay,
it is
what I didn't get.
Undeniably bottom of the barrel holiday experience. Tier 4. New Year's Day. And again, federal holidays we're talking about here. I think New Year's Day would be a Tier 5 holiday if not for the sports experience, but you think about it, it is the ultimate, people would call it the Sunday scaries. You're going back to work in the next day or two. The holiday season is over. Yeah. You're generally tired. You're sick. You're exhausted. You just don't want to do a damn thing. And if you are, you're burning yourself out before you get back into the work experience. Everything's over. New Year's Day, I think sneaky one of the worst days of the year on the calendar. And the only thing that saves it is the sports experience.
It's a great sports day.
It's a great sports day.
New Year's Eve is not a federal holiday, right?
It's
so
not
this is your entire representation of New Year's.
Yes, but okay. Take New Year's Eve out of it. This is just federal holidays.
I'll tell you one great thing about New Year's Day, though, and I don't disagree necessarily, but that's usually the first day I see a Masters commercial. So that makes me feel
I'll give
good.
you that. Okay. Still a Tier 4 holiday.
Fine. If you're Ned Flanders, you get to start your taxes.
Daddy, what do taxes pay for? Labor Day. Tier 4 holiday. I think easily our most overrated holiday on the calendar. Everybody thinks it's great. It's the end of summer. No, you're the problem with that. You have an attitude problem if you think it's the end of summer. September is the best month of the year. No. Labor Day, so overrated. And also in Tier 4, I'm going to put in Veterans Day and Juneteenth. That being said, they get bumped up to Tier 3. The thing that holds these two ones back is you don't know where they're going to fall. Most of these days we're talking about are Monday holidays, which is good. On a year where Veterans Day or Juneteenth falls on the Monday or the Friday and you get the long weekend, they immediately get bumped up the holiday
day
experience.
Off on Friday hits a lot different than the day off on Wednesday.
No doubt about it. So they get bumped up.
So they're like Tier 3.5.
I almost don't even know where to put them because it's like they're the only two that really kind of fit.
That should be its own tier, like the floating holiday tier.
Right, yeah, no, exactly. I mean, you could put 4th of July in there too, but it's in the middle of the summer. So
yeah,
people just
the whole week is off.
They bag out the whole week anyway. So that's Tier 4 right there.
So I want to push back. New Year's Day, great sports day. New Year's Eve, one of the worst holidays there is. Once you turn like 28. Labor Day, great holiday. One.
Oh no!
I might get personal here. It's the only day I can watch college football and sit on the beach, which are my two favorite things to do. But look, I don't think it's the end of summer. I'm with you. Why does that diminish it being a great holiday? It's an extra day off in the summer.
Because we overrate it.
Most
everybody
of these holidays,
overrates it.
I don't think anybody really does.
I think they do.
Most of these holidays are in the summer, or not in the summer. This is one you can really take advantage of. It's one of the best weather times of the year. Football's about to be back, but it's also still beach weather. I love Labor Day.
Overrated.
Labor Day is. I'm more with Alex on Labor Day. I like Labor Day.
Labor Day, and look, I love 4th of July. I wouldn't put it ahead of 4th of July, but Labor Day has a lot of the perks of 4th of July without some of the traffic downsides.
Which is why we get into Tier 3.
Oh, wait, I want to let Mark finish. I apologize. I cut you off.
I like Labor Day more than the 4th of July.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I hate fireworks. Yeah, and I think the 4th of July, the calendar on the 4th of July, from a sports perspective, I don't really have much to say.
One of the best sporting events of the year is on
Wimbledon.
4th of July.
What is it?
Hot dog eating contest.
Oh my god! I can't stand it.
I love the hot dog eating contest.
I don't like fireworks. I mean, I'm happy to celebrate America. I'd rather have the football and the long weekend that you get on the Labor Day weekend.
Tier 3, Columbus Day, so much greater than Labor Day. The weather is generally better. It's not as crowded. Everybody's already done all their Labor Day things, and they don't bother to on. It's the sneaky best time of year to have a 3-day weekend. We'll talk about great sports time, too. You got football going on. You got baseball going on. Columbus Day, sneaky elite time of year to have a holiday. So much better than Labor Day.
Totally agree. Great time for a long weekend. It's usually a day of golf. I like it.
MLK Day, too. Also, you want to talk about a sneaky, great time of year to have a 3-day weekend. You're coming back from the holiday
need
time.
it there.
You need it there.
Yeah.
You need it there. MLK Day, undeniably up there.
And is that divisional weekend or used to be? Maybe it isn't anymore. The NFL playoffs, though, so you feel
some
good.
years it is, some years it isn't. I think it depends.
Still, it's the NFL playoffs.
It's the playoffs, yeah.
You get to get playoffs and then a Monday off. Yes.
Great experience weekend. And Memorial Day for the same reasons. It's a great time of year to have the 3-day. Weather's getting nice. Memorial Day, I put in Tier 3. I think a lot of people will put Tier 2.
Memorial Day, to me, is a better version of Labor Day. It should be higher.
Memorial Day is Tier 2.
I will tell you why it's not Tier 2. And I said these were federal holidays.
Yeah.
I've made an exception.
Okay.
We go to Tier 2, Patriots Day. That's a Tier 2 holiday. Not only is it our holiday, the weather's finally getting good. Comes at a perfect time of year. You need it, especially after going through March with nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Marathon, Red Sox, great sports time of year. You will have just come off the Masters. Generally, that is Patriots Day. Awesome.
Agreed. Put it
awesome.
Love Marathon Monday.
So good. I wanted to put it Tier 1. I did. But I'm a tough grader. 4th of July, Tier 2. We all know the 4th of July is great. Christmas, Tier 2 holiday. Love the holiday, hate the lead up.
4th of July is a Tier 1 holiday for me.
No. That's because Tier 1, gentlemen, just Thanksgiving. You have to put Thanksgiving in its own category by itself. Food, football, comes at a time of year where you need it. You need a break. Family, friends, yes. Ultimate experience holiday. Not to mention, too, the Friday after. Nobody works the Friday after. It has become a true 4-day.
Except for us.
I know. Well, we do, but what we do is not work.
I know. I'm just plugging it. We're going to be on.
It's an automatic 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
You really get to sit back, do what you want. Thanksgiving is unbeatable. It's our best holiday. Tier 1 by itself.
I'm going to have Thanksgiving as Tier 1. I'm going to have Christmas as Tier 1. Maybe part of it is my newfound appreciation with kids, and you look forward to giving some of the gifts and doing that. Christmas and Thanksgiving, baby. You know, it's a great season. It helps me get through the down I'm feeling because golf season is over. The winter is starting. It's dark all the time. Those are the big things I try to get into.
Like I said before, my two favorite things to do are watch football and sit on the beach. Give me Thanksgiving, give me 4th of July. Those are Tier 1 holidays. If there was a holiday based around golf, it might sneak into the top spot there. Columbus Day is a good one, but it doesn't have the pomp and circumstance and the food and all that. Yeah.
Again, it's a sneaky.
There needs to be a food element. There's a sneaky big food element to the 4th of July.
But the lead up is good too. Like if Memorial Day had a little more like lead up, I would be into that because I love Memorial Day. It's a golf. It's all about. It's a golf thing. But I can't put it Tier 1 just because there's no lead up. It's just there's the Memorial Day weekends here. So
Tier 1, just Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It's a half notch above everything else for the experience, the food, the football, the family, the 4 days. That's what it's become.
Not a federal holiday. Can I get a quick Halloween take? Where's that fall?
It was better when I was younger.
Better when you were younger.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know
if you're like a Halloween freak.
It's like St. Patrick's Day. It's like, okay, cool.
So I like St. Patrick's Day because that's my birthday weekend. So I get to like double dip there.
See, I'll be honest. That's where we need a 3-day weekend in the calendar. We got to, and I know, Washington's birthday and all that. You got to get that thing out of February. You got to trade that off for a March holiday.
Well, you know what that weekend is.
You need a middle of March holiday.
So here's the trick. You create your own holiday, March Madness. Because that's always my birthday. I always take that Friday off. I create my own 3-day weekend for St. Patrick's Day and March Madness.
Last year or 2 years ago, there were 5 Mondays in March. It's a long month.
That's a long-ass month. We don't need, we don't need the 3-day weekend in February. It's the shortest month of the year. You got to position that somewhere in March.
Some places, because we have school break February and April.
Yep.
I know like some states, they just have one and it's in March.
Spring break.
So they get the longer one in March.
That's why it'll never happen.
So I think some places do have the 3-day March weekend.
Well, yeah, they do the full week in March. Yeah. I'm telling you, from like a work perspective.
Create your own 3-day weekend in March. It's great.
That's the approach right there. Barth Day. Celebrate his birthday. Quick update from Alex Barth, then we're back.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius.
It's the Coleman Electric email of the day.
Dear Felger, I really hate you. And I think Mazz is a boob. It's electric.
The Coleman Electric email of the day.
It's electric.
Send yours to Felger at 985thesportshub.com.
As always, the email of the day brought to you by Coleman Electric. If you need a bunch of really good electricians, call Coleman. It's electric.
It's electric.
It's electric.
Sure is. Electricity. I would give you the email of the day, but they still have not given me an at 985 the Sports Hub email address, so I've got nothing for you. 11 years here at the station, still nothing, so maybe I'll send an email to somebody eventually and ask for one. But I have heard from Jim. Jim just tweeted in, "Hey, McCarthy, I'm a letter carrier for USPS." So not email, snail mail, baby.
The old school.
What is this 4-day weekend you speak of? Also, Friday starts a month and a half of hell for delivery, folks. You are right. Again, if we're talking about the overall experience of the holidays, keep in mind those who are working their asses off to make your holiday experience happen, like our fine folks at the United States Postal Service. Respect. I saw a guy walking around today. Like the walking letter carriers.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that job. That would be awesome. Just like now.
Probably get in great shape.
Yes. Think about it. You walk around. It's great on a beautiful day. Obviously terrible on a bad day. But I remember like growing up, like the guy walking up to your door. He was so nice. His name was Rich the mailman. He was the nicest guy ever. He just walked through the neighborhood every single day. He's got his bag and he's a walk. That's a great gig.
Feels like a great job.
Yeah, seriously. I'd love to do that. Maybe when this radio thing doesn't work out for me, you'll find I'll be
Matt the
delivering.
mailman.
See, here's the problem.
Yeah.
You'd want to get you're talking about your neighborhood. What if it was a neighborhood that wasn't as nice? It wasn't as nice of a walk. It was, you might not get the perfect neighborhood.
I think any neighborhood would be a great day for a walk. A nice opportunity to go out and stroll.
I mean, if it's a
and
busy
meet people.
street or something, it might not be as easy to get around or cross the street or something.
I mean, there are always going to be hazards for a mail carrier. I mean, there are dogs. There are things you have to look out for.
I think if it's that busy, it's probably not the walking guys.
Right.
Right. Like, I think the walking guys are reserved for
quieter
more spaced
areas.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so.
The trucks do look fun to drive, though.
See, I do like people. That would seriously be awesome to drive the mail truck.
Yeah.
I actually, now that I think about it, a friend of mine growing up, his dad drove. It was not a mail truck. It was like a mail sedan. It was like an old like Volvo station wagon with the steering wheel on the right. I remember sitting in the front seat and being like, "This is really cool." On the left side, right on the mailbox side.
They don't wear they used to wear the uniforms. I don't think they wear my mailman doesn't wear a uniform. He just like rolls up in cargo shorts.
Yeah.
I think cargo shorts is the uniform.
No, it's like cargo shorts and a corn t-shirt or something. Not the uniform.
Yeah.
But it's fine with me.
Yeah, just as long as you get the mail.
Great band. Yeah, just give me the mail. Which, by the way, I ordered, I don't know, randomly I ordered a Pedro Martinez baseball card that I had issues receiving.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you had issues receiving it.
I did not get it yet, and it said delivered, but it was never delivered. So.
You got to watch out for that.
It happens.
Yeah. Somebody new.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe
there was
door.
a substitute, yeah.
Yeah. Majori? Oh, all right. Well, there we go. How about Bob in Worcester? He's going to add some important context to this conversation. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Matt. Yeah, listen, stick to the radio. You don't want to become a letter carrier nowadays.
Why's that?
Well, you'll start off making minimum money. You won't have a life.
Buddy, you think we make
until
money
you've been
in
there
radio?
for years. I hope so, for your sake. I really do.
Also, I'll let you go on that.
Won't make money, won't have a life.
It
Can you imagine?
Doesn't sound any different from the job I have now.
What is that like?
And actually, I'd get to see people face to face instead of people tweeting at me and yelling at me, which I actually don't.
Well, but if you forget to deliver their Pedro Martinez card, they'll yell at you.
Right. I'm not going to yell at anyone. I was noticing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
would notice that too. I'd be pretty pissed off.
I was waiting for it. I was interested in
Did you get it, though?
No.
Eventually? No, you still
So I'm
haven't
going to check when I get home.
When was it? Was it supposed to be delivered?
2 days ago. So it's not looking good.
Yeah, no.
It's all right.
Like a neighbor take that?
I don't know.
Accidentally
Those
get dropped
things
off.
happen. It happens.
Do your neighbors bring you mail? If
I bring the neighbor's mail when I get the neighbor's mail.
That's the way to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you drop it in. You don't have the mailbox at the front door, right? Like
No.
the mail drop slot.
No.
Those were always cool. One of the houses I had growing up, we had one of those. That was cool. And that's where the walking carrier came up and dropped it right through. Cool experience. But Dave and Hingham. Dave.
Okay, thanks for taking my call. Number one, on the tiers of... Well, number one, you inspired me to leave the pit. Well, I was watching the Pistons-Celtics game. I'm a Detroit native living in Boston. I could not handle the floor. Number one, it gave me a headache. So I left to go get stuffing at the local store because my wife and sister-in-law are gluten-free. And I'm like, I'm done with that. I need like true gluten for stuffing.
There you go.
It's true.
But when it comes to holidays, I'm not sure you guys have kids or not. Like when I didn't have kids, Memorial Day to Labor Day, like I love Memorial Day, Labor Day, I dread. But when you have kids, I've got 3 girls, they're all in school. We so welcome Labor Day because like finally they're going to go back to school.
That's a
like
good point.
get them out of the house.
It's a good point. Yeah, my wife and kids, because my wife's off all summer, they spend a lot of the summer on Cape Cod. So I'm back and forth a lot. I love Labor Day because everyone comes back. I don't have to drive as much. Summer's over. Back to a routine. I feel that.
Guy, I did mention the stuffing. We're going to get there.
Yeah.
We have an extra half hour on the program tonight. We're leading you up to the Bruins. RJ and Bob take over at 6:30, which means we get to do the Joe Show.
That's right.
For a half hour. If there's ever been a spot for turkey talk, for Thanksgiving food takes, we'll get there. But first, we hit the final word.
Hey, it's Felger here. Now on Felger and Mazz.
It's the final
We're recapping this 4-hour show in 4 minutes, which leads to the question, does it really need to be 4 hours long?
No. Final words brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest price on tires, go to Town Fair Tire because nobody beats Town Fair Tire.
Nobody. Kevin, my understanding we have one more Thanksgiving or high school football call to give the people before we get out of here.
Yes,
or
this
before
one
the
is
Felger
from
Mazz show gets out of
A&M
here.
Consolidated High School, which is in Texas.
All right.
Here's the approach on the ball by Stanley. It is an onside kick. The Copperscope Bulldogs, it is still up, and the Tigers have it. They flip it back to Brandon Jackson. Jackson turns around. He's got a little bit of running room. Jackson needs a block or two. He may get in trouble. He may toss the ball back and does, and the Tigers have some running room. It is Derek Dick with the football. He circles around, and he's got a wall on the near side. Turn it up, Derek. Derek with the ball for 50, 45, 40. Oh, my gosh! Oh, my God! 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 Are you kidding me? No flag! Touchdown! 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 The Tigers have won the football game! This, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, will go down in history as one of the most incredible plays in high school football history. Believe me when I tell you that.
No, I'm gonna believe you. I just have no process, but family. Who needs it, right? As we say on the eve of Thanksgiving,
right?
With the Joe Murray Show coming your way next. Quick commercial break. We're right back. McCarthy, Dondero, Alex Barth until 6 o'clock. 6:30.
Hey, stay tuned for more Felger. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Both the Celtics and Bruins in action tonight. In fact, the Celtics in action right now. They trail the Detroit Pistons 38-37 midway through the second quarter. You can catch the call of that game on our sister station, 105.7 WROR. Then it's the Bruins on the road taking on the New York Islanders. Coverage starts in less than half an hour right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Patriots had their first practice of the week today. Before that, Mike Vrabel announcing Will Campbell has been placed on IR, meaning he'll miss at least 4 games. Miles Battle signed from the practice squad to take his roster spot. Vidarian Lowe expected to take over at left tackle. In addition to Campbell, players not spotted at practice today: Jared Wilson, Brendan Schooler, Harold Landry, Morgan Moses, and Jelani Tavai. Elsewhere in the NFL, center Frank Ragnow is coming out of retirement to rejoin the Detroit Lions. And in college football, UConn's Jim Mora is leaving to become the head coach at Colorado State. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Green Home. If you've got mold or funky odors creeping around your home or office, don't mess around. Visit greenhomesolutions.com/Boston to book your free consultation today. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update during Bruins pregame.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Show. There's a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line.
Anyone who gets hit by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a Hoot.
Even though it's not the Joe Show, it's just a continuation of the fake Felger and Mazz show with McCarthy, Dondero, and Barth.
Why can't we cover both shows?
On the eve of Thanksgiving, to not play the Joe Show intro, a man. If I were to pick one human being to embody Thanksgiving, a day that has so much to do with food, Joe Murray would be that guy.
Yes.
So we had to play it. You have to. It is the Joe Show. McCarthy, Dondero, Barth. Continuing, we're leading up to the Bruins and the Islanders. RJ and Bob take over at 6:30. We've got room for you at 617-779-0985. Barth, I believe the Joe Show opening take is brought to us by...
I was going to say, if you have an opening take for the Joe Show, it's brought to you by Super Service Today. Winter's coming. Don't get caught in the cold. Super Service Today delivers New England's most complete home heating system health and safety check, catching problems before they catch you. Stay safe, stay warm. Book now at superservicetoday.com.
So we've been on the air for 4 hours. It almost feels... It's uncomfortable to have an opening take 4 hours.
It's a reopening take.
It's a reopening take. We've exhausted our takes at this point.
We have one more.
I do too. Can I get to yours at 6:20?
Yeah.
All right. What's the official animal of Thanksgiving?
It's turkey.
Would you agree with that, Dondero?
I would agree.
It's the sheep. Because you people are feeble-minded sheep.
It's a bad take.
When it comes to turkey, there is nothing more overrated in the history of our society and in the history of food than Thanksgiving turkey. Nobody actually wants turkey.
I do.
See, you think you want turkey, Barth. You don't actually want it. You've just been led to believe that you want turkey. This is the grand and great butterball conspiracy that you, a sheep, have fallen victim to. That is a fact. It is not an opinion, and I will prove it as such. I want to do an exercise with both of you. You think, Dondero, do you like turkey?
No.
Dondero knows what's up.
But I still acknowledge it's the animal of Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that people who...
Do you still eat it on Thanksgiving?
I do.
Yeah, there you go.
But you don't like it.
I don't care for it, no.
Yeah.
I prefer not to have it, honestly.
And honestly, I think a lot of people feel that way, and they've just been silenced because of people like Barth, who probably doesn't even want it anyway, but he just thinks he wants turkey.
I genuinely do. The number of people I've talked to who've had this take, and then for whatever reason, they go to somewhere else, and they're like, oh, no, this turkey is good. I think a lot of people just haven't had good turkey.
Okay, I've heard that throughout my life. Oh, it's just never been cooked right for you. I'm in my mid-30s. I've been to a million different Thanksgivings, cooked by a million different people. In the end, turkey is turkey. Now, I'm sure it's an easy thing to screw up if you're cooking. I get it. It's a very complicated, that is a big bird, all right? To stick in an oven that you have to cook for 8 hours, and you got to do this at this exact moment and that exact moment.
You got to carve it right. You got to get the gravy right.
It's really unfair to the people who are hosting Thanksgiving, to be totally honest, to have to cook a turkey, because chances are they're cooking it out of a sense of obligation for people like you, Alex Barth, you, who demand it because you've been told that you need it and you want it and you should expect it. Let me ask you this. You go to Thanksgiving tomorrow. You walk in the door, and somebody says to you, Alex, you've got a choice. You can have a nice steak or this turkey. What tastes better?
Well, are we still having the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and all that?
No.
Turkey.
Just take all. The turkey is a vessel for the stuffing. It is the sole purpose of the turkey. You got to take the stuffing out of this for just a second here. A nice steak or a turkey?
No, but you can't. Because
no. Yes, you can.
You can't because, look, I love steak, but some of those sides taste better with turkey than they do with steak. It's about it all coalescing together on the plate. So if I have to give up all the sides, yes, I like steak better than turkey, but I like turkey. And the thing is, turkey, like you said, it's an exercise. I can, whenever I want, go get a steak and go home and throw it on the grill. I can't, any day I want, go get a big turkey from the store and do the whole hours-long process that it takes to make it.
How about a nice prime rib?
Same thing.
Turkey. See, you'd want the prime rib the same way you'd want the steak. And braised beef tenderloin. Think about any meal that might take a long time to make, and I'm not a cook, so I don't know. You tell me what that meal is. What's the, that you've got the meat marinating for 8 hours and you're doing the slow roast. Like, get Ryan Johnston on the horn right now. Like, there's a man, he's cooking his brisket all day, whatever he's doing. Guarantee you give somebody the choice between pick your favorite form of meat, high quality meat. Let's even extend it to the sea. Lobster or turkey? What do you want? What's better?
I'd rather have lobster.
See, Barth, you can't. I can sense the pain.
But
why can't you know?
Part of it is, for the ambiance that is Thanksgiving. They want to see the turkey, and it's not just, they want to see it.
Well,
they want to see the turkey on the table. It's part of the experience.
I'll ask you this
brainwashed.
Too. What is the best part of the Thanksgiving meal? This is my big Thanksgiving food
stuffing.
take. It's the leftovers. It's the leftovers. The best part of Thanksgiving is not the meal you sit down and eat right after the Cowboys game kicks off, and I know that's kind of a hot take in and of itself. It's raiding the fridge at 11:30 before you go to bed for the next round. What's going to hold better, turkey or your meat or your lobster? Like, you're going to eat the lobster. You're not getting leftover lobster.
But I don't want leftover turkey. I don't even like turkey out of the oven.
I love the leftovers are the best part.
If I do eat turkey,
I will eat less at dinner to make sure I have more leftovers.
Turkey is better cold. It's better in cold cut form than it is in cooked Thanksgiving form.
Eyes on the prize, all about the leftovers. At night, the next day, leftovers.
But you can have the leftovers without the turkey.
Right.
That's what you're missing.
That's right.
Again,
I'm not just going to eat. I'm not going to say I'm not going to because I've done it. You want me to just eat a bowl of mashed potatoes?
Yeah,
I have done that.
Great.
I can't say I'm not going to do
tremendous.
that. I've done
what are you
that.
Talking about?
It is excellent.
I'll have a turkey and American all day. But the turkey that you get from the bird on Thanksgiving, and I have to douse it in gravy if I'm going to eat it because I need
gravy.
it. I know I need it. I can't just do it dry.
I'm not going to have the turkey without the gravy.
Well,
Yeah, if you're eating turkey without gravy, I understand why.
Well, I still, even with the gravy, I'm just the gravy. I'm still trying to muscle my way through it. I don't want to do that.
See, the point being is that nobody actually, in the end, likes the turkey. They just do it out of a sense of obligation,
I like the turkey.
and you'd never really pick it. But even you, Barth, you're like, well, all of those options are way better than turkey, and the sole purpose of cooking this turkey is so I can have a leftover. You could have every single piece of stuffing and mashed potato and leftover and the green beans and everything, and you could go out and grab some cold cut turkey and boom.
What am I
there
putting
you
the
go.
gravy on?
Yeah, but the bottom line is
You can make gravy without the turkey.
Wasn't that the meal at the original Thanksgiving? Like,
I don't
can
think
get
they
up.
serve turkey.
No,
I think that is like a thing that they didn't.
They did not serve
But
turkey.
also-
So again, it's the giant butterball conspiracy.
Wow.
So you've been led to believe this. I'm glad you understand what's going on here, Mark.
I mean, I just don't really care for the taste, so I prefer other things.
And here's the thing. I don't think people do.
Yeah.
I don't think people do. Because again, if you're saying, what would you prefer? I prefer the taste. I want it to taste good. Somebody's always going to put something ahead of the turkey. I guarantee you, how many people out there are like, turkey is literally my favorite meal? Nobody.
So would you rather?
Nobody.
What if it was turkey or like a roast chicken?
Oh, I would do the chicken. Yeah.
That's tough. We're talking poultry now.
This is where I know McCarthy
has
his hottest food take. You cornered me, now I've cornered you.
Honestly, man.
You don't like chicken either?
McCarthy does not like chicken.
Probably the chicken. Probably the chicken.
You just eat steak and potatoes?
As a good Irishman, yes. Yes, I do. Okay. And anything from the ocean. Tons of fish.
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay.
Salmon, swordfish, whitefish.
Talk about a meal I can't stand.
So if you told me there was like some sort of fish-related side at Thanksgiving, I could be very into that.
Why not just replace the turkey? It'd be better.
No.
There's got to be some historical reason why the turkey is the main course on Thanksgiving.
Because Ben Franklin liked turkeys and Butterball
All right, there
exists.
It is.
Yes.
Don't question Ben. Shut up and eat it.
Yeah, it is the Butterball conspiracy.
All right.
Well, we did question Ben. He wanted the turkey to be the national bird.
No.
So
it's too weak.
Now you're questioning.
Well, yes, because that's a different premise. I'm not questioning his choice of food. I'm questioning you can't have a turkey be the national bird.
Well, that's what he wanted.
You want the answer?
So
Are we counting the encyclopedia?
Are
we counting the encyclopedia as like a trustworthy source here?
Sure.
By the turn of the 19th century, turkey had become a popular dish to serve on such occasions. There are a few reasons for this. First, the bird was plentiful.
Yes.
So there you go. It's around. Mm-hmm. Second, turkeys on a family farm were almost always available for slaughter, where live cows and hens were useful as they were providing milk and eggs, respectively. Turkeys were generally raised only for their meat. Third, a single turkey was big enough to feed a family. So why do we eat turkey on Thanksgiving? Because it's there. So congratulations.
Yeah, you're right. Because nobody says, nowhere in there does it say it's good, but yes, because it's there. I can ask for a little bit more. George. Hi, George.
Hey, guys. A little story time. Everybody in my household, me, my wife, my daughter, we all hate turkey. We're going to my mom's house. My mom goes, what time are we going to start the turkey? I said, Mom, we all hate turkey. We're a Spanish family. Guess what kind of food we're having tomorrow on Thanksgiving? Cuban food, because turkey sucks.
There you go. And you know what your mom said? Oh, thank God I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to cook this thing nobody actually really likes in the end. That's the thing, is you think you like it, but you actually don't. Steve in Charlestown, I know you think you like it, but you really don't.
Hey, I got to defend turkey here. I mean, have you guys ever had smoked turkey? It's a completely different taste. It's absolutely freaking delicious.
If you smoke
regular turkey,
anything.
meh. Regular turkey's meh, but a smoked turkey is freaking delicious.
Never had smoked turkey.
But here's the thing. How many people are smoking a turkey at Thanksgiving? So I agree. And this gets into Dan in Rhode Island, too. And Dan, if you do this, it makes anything better.
Deep fried from a fryer. Food pornography at its best.
I'm telling.
I've never had a deep fried turkey, but I want
Danny.
to.
But I would. If you fry anything gets better. I'm not a huge chicken fan. You fry chicken, I'm all about it.
I also do like the videos this time of year of the fire department showing you why not to deep fry the frozen turkey.
Don't do it.
Do not do that.
It's going to be a problem for you. Dan in Boston. Hi, Dan.
Matt, you're from Carver, Massachusetts.
That's right.
Your dad was a Latin teacher.
That's correct.
Was he doing the cooking? Is that why you hate turkey so much?
No. Are you kidding me? And I'm from Carver. I actually don't like cranberry sauce either, but that's...
Well, that's a whole other story. The whole point is you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't have to just have the vessel for the stuffing. You don't have to do all that stuff. You just need to know what you're doing. That's all. It's not very difficult. You got to do exactly what either A, a recipe says, or B, what your mom or your grandmother or maybe your dad or your grandfather taught you to do. It's really not that difficult for your turkey that is going to be sitting there tomorrow to be delicious. It's a delicious, delicious thing. Don't sleep on the dark meat. If all you have is the breast, like Dondero was saying, you have to smother it with gravy. If that's all you're doing, somebody's cooking it wrong. You haven't been shown the right way. Come on, you can't sleep on the dark meat, and you can't sleep on a good turkey dinner. I'm right there with you, Barth, on the leftovers. Leftovers are king.
I've heard this before. It's like, oh, well, it must not be cooked right. You think I've only been to one Thanksgiving in my lifetime? You think I have not been exposed to different cooks, different approaches, different times of day, different types of turkey meat? In the end, the problem is the bird. itself.
Yeah, I just think it's like Christmas. It's part of the decor that comes with Thanksgiving. People want to see it. They want to feel it, feel the energy and its presence. It helps with the holiday and the ambiance.
Christmas when I do the prime rib or the whatever.
And you know what?
Tenderloin.
What do you say? Would I rather have a turkey or a prime rib?
Well, I had both. I had one at Thanksgiving. I had one at Christmas. Works out perfectly.
617-779-0985. That was a nice political way to get around the answer that you know and we all know to be true, that any of those options taste way better than turkey. Listen, guys, if I'm not talking, you're not learning. We'll continue. It's Matt McCarthy, Mark Dondero, Alex Barth. We're leading you up to the Bruins. We'll get game ready next. Pick your favorite form of meat, high-quality meat.
mystery.
Are they? 100%.
Are they?
Yes, 100. Do I stutter?
Consider them the periodic table of sports talk.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Sorry, we need to blow a gasket.
No, blow it, baby, blow it.
Felger and Mazz. This is breaking sports news, powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
How about this 4.5-hour show with 5 minutes to go? We get some news. According to John Heyman, Dylan Cease to the Blue Jays, 7 years, $210 million.
Arms race is on in the American League East.
That's a move. That's a man move.
That's a big boy
grown-up move. That's a move of a team trying to get over the hump and win it. And that's a move where the fan base will be like, oh, that's all I want. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm sorry, they're going to be like, what?
Yeah, I want that.
Be like, whoa.
Can we get that sound?
No, I don't even know if that's accurate, but that's a real move. And I want the Red Sox. That's a little bit Sonny Gray. No, that's a real move.
All right, calm down. The offseason's like 2 minutes old.
No.
I want the
That's action.
I want the Red Sox to make an equivalent move. I do.
Yes.
I'm not, but after Crochet last year, I didn't think they were going to be in the free agent pitching market. I always kind of figured it would come via trade,
Why
Joe
not?
Ryan, whoever.
Why couldn't they make that move? Matt, why didn't they make that move?
What, the Dylan Cease move?
Yeah, why didn't they do that?
Because they're going to trade for Joe Ryan.
Okay. Well,
The Red Sox were not going to be involved in the free agent pitching market. They're going to trade for a pitcher because they have a farm system with enough to get a big-time deal done. That is also probably what they prefer because they want to get a pitcher with 2 or 3 years left of control and repeat what they did with Crochet and sign that pitcher to an extension.
Fine.
That is the business model. The Red Sox, here's the thing. The Red Sox were not going to be in on Dylan Cease, but what this means is they now need to respond.
Right.
You shouldn't be upset that they didn't get Dylan Cease. You should be upset if they don't go out and trade for Joe Ryan or an equivalent trade out there. If Skubal does get moved, I don't think he will, but if Skubal gets moved, that's the type of thing you should be in on.
Right. That's significant action. From a team that did things at the trade deadline that benefited them. They made the World Series. They were within how many outs or whatever of winning the World Series. That is action that wins you championships. And all I'm sitting here doing is hoping and trying to be patient. That means nothing right now.
Well, you can be patient because the offseason has been happening for about 3 minutes. Well, the winter meetings have not rolled
I was going to say,
around
winter
yet.
meetings are usually what, first weekend in December?
Yeah, winter meetings are 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away.
But it's a move like that gets me, ornery just because I haven't seen that level, and I just respect what the Blue Jays are doing.
Right, you haven't seen that level of move from the Red Sox since
No.
2 minutes ago when they traded
no.
for Garrett Crochet last year.
No, it's been inconsistent, and the Blue Jays have been consistent. They're going for it. They aren't unloading guys. They're going for it. They're adding.
I will say this, to Darrow's point, maybe not I don't feel as immediate as he does, but the Red Sox make the run of the ALCS in 2021, basically banked that goodwill and did nothing to the roster for 3 years. Blue Jays went to the World Series, lost, and said, we need to get better. That's the kind of instinct you want the Red Sox to have.
Without a doubt. I would also point out that the Red Sox were in a different place at that point. Not that I'm defending where they were. I hate it. We can't talk about the Red Sox like it's 2022 and John Henry is absentee and Chaim Bloom's the general manager.
You have to hope they learn from that.
Yes.
That's the goal here, is that they learn from that.
I think things are a little different right now. Say what you will about John Henry. If John Henry were an absentee owner, does he get his ass on a flight to Kansas City to go to talk to Rafael Devers? He probably doesn't. Now, you probably don't like the fact that he traded Devers after it.
For nothing.
None of us did. For nothing. He made a personal decision because Devers spit in his face. That's what he did. And he said, you know what? Screw you, buddy. And I'm trading you. And I don't want to pay you anymore. But that's somebody making, frankly, what was an irrational personal decision because he was emotionally invested in the way that it all went down. The Red Sox last year gave Garrett Crochet a record contract. If they don't trade for Joe Ryan, they don't respond to this move, I'll rip them. But we can't talk about them like they're operating like it's 2022. I don't think they are.
That's fine. But again, Crochet's it's not enough. You need more. And that's a good signing. It was a good player to get. But it's not enough. I need more.
We agree. They need more. Alex Barth, Mark Dondero, Kevin Majori, George Sepulveda, happy Thanksgiving. Barth and I are back Friday.
Friday evening. Dondero's on Friday morning, then we're on Friday evening.
All right, we'll be on after the games on Friday, in between the games on Friday. Bruins, Islanders coming your way next. Ryan Johnston is a man who is not cooking turkey tomorrow because he knows what's up. RJ's Roadside Barbecue. Enjoy the game. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Mazz, Joe Murray for Boston Sports.